Jemai everyone, how are you all? Well, I can't believe that I haven't shown you June and July of my project life, and I've also caught up with August, which includes my holiday. So here we go. I can't believe also that I'm still staying up to date with project life, because I thought it might have been a flash in the pan, but I'm actually really enjoying it. So this one here is the 4th to the 10th of June, and I talk about how I marshalled a park run, taking part in a leisure league with my running club. Another day, another race to marshal. And this is a bit of a sad one. On the 10th of June, it would have been my dad's birthday. And I think I've said before, I think it's important to share sad times as well as all the happy times, because, well, that's what gives you the balance in life, I suppose. So this is one of my favourite photos of my dad with our dog Max. Sadly, we've lost them both now. So that's week 23, and as you can see, I'm still mixing up my letters and numbers and not feeling bothered by it. So this then is week 24, and I talk about the school garden and how we found this insect, which we'd never seen before, and it was actually a bee beetle, which apparently they're very, very rare, so we felt really proud of that. There's the fairy garden we developed. Then, as you can see, I've used quite a few filler cards this week. It was obviously a quieter week on the news front. Again, just sharing cards that I've made. But also, after my dad's birthday, it would have been Father's Day, another tough day that I find quite difficult. But this was a real celebration because my dad was a real lover of his roses. And Mum and I promised that we'd carry on looking after them. And this year they've done particularly well. But as I snap this shot here, you can just see Izzy, my mum's little dog, on the back of the settee, barking because we've just arrived. And I was obviously delaying going in because I wanted to take photos of the garden. So this is the 18th of June to the 24th. Once again, I've used some filler cards. And once again, I am just using whichever cards I fancy. I don't care which collection they're from. I don't care whether I'm mixing up Stampin' Up with proper Becky Higgins ones. I'm just using anything. So there we go. This was when our choir sang in a big concert with the male voice choir, and I was close to tears the entire time. They were absolutely fantastic. This talks about when our family friend Gwyn came to school to talk to the children about being a judge. As you can see, filler cards on this one. Again, this is week 26, so I'm halfway through the year here. And this was my nephew at his non-prom. He decided not to go to prom, but he went and had his photos taken with all his friends anyway. So there's my nephew Tom, and I call that non-prom. And as I talk about here about how life has been so busy lately that I've been making less YouTube videos. And school was just absolutely manic. The end of term is always manic in school. But this was a week to remember. This was when we went on residential with year 6. And I thought I would take part in the mud run with them. Here I am. Oh, I can't begin to describe the smell of the mud. I was absolutely heaving. So here's some photos here. I've tried, even though I've got photos of the children here, they're not that clear. And this one, I've taken a lovely one of the back of the children at the beach. And as I say, residential was fantastic. It didn't feel like I was at work. Then my friend Alid here from work took part in his first, oh sorry, the light is playing around on the page protectors. Ali took part in his first 10k. He absolutely smashed it. I struggled because on the day of walking from the beach, I pulled my calf and it was unbelievably hot, and I struggled running in the heat. And we were running for Tea Haven, which is a children's hospice. So we raised money for them. Izzy had one of her sleepovers. And another week of celebrating running achievements. Took part in relays with my very best friend Claire. We've been very best friends since primary school. a team photo here. There's my husband looking like he's not enjoying it very much. Then I was making some new cards. This talks about the school fete and my mother's delicious Victoria sandwich cakes. I took them to school and then ended up buying slices back because I couldn't go without some. Week 28. As you can see now, I'm mixing them up even more. These E's are actually B's that I've sliced down to try to get more out of my letters. This was Year 6's prom, and this is a very special class for me because I taught them. They were my very first class when I moved to this school. So I taught them at Year 2 and I also taught most of them at Year 4. So they'll always have a special place in my heart. I love this shot that one of my colleagues took with all the children showing their new jackets. I was very lucky to have some stunning bunches of flowers off the children for the end of term. So I saved the cards and put those in here as well. That's the lovely thing, is you can save all these little bits of memorabilia. On our school trip, the last but one day, we were watching the pig racing, which I thought was absolutely hysterical. There's all the little piglets. And I was loving the fact that on a Sunday night, we went out for a bike ride because I wasn't thinking about work the next day. Even though I love school, I was ready for a break. So this is week 29. And I found this on Facebook. We always have a little bit of a laugh that my husband isn't very good at looking for things. And even the children in school now, when they say to me, Mrs. Richards, I can't find it, I'll say, did you do a Mrs. Richards look or a Lee look? Because my husband's Lee. And one of them the one day said to her mother in the house, oh, I couldn't find that. And her mother said, did you have a proper look? And she said, no, I think I must have done a Lee look. So it's become a famous phrase. I've been trying to, my husband's had a bit of a tough time lately in work. I've been trying to sort of find some positive memes, and some different quotes. And I thought this was very apt for scrapbooking. Live your life, take photos of everything, tell people you love them, talk to random strangers, do things you're scared to do, go for it. Because so many of us die and no one remembers the thing we did. Take your life and make it the best story in the world, don't waste it. I think that is fantastic. So here's Izzy and I was trying to get her to have a selfie with me, but every time I tried to get her to look at the camera, she wanted to kiss me. Here she is in her little paddling pool because the weather has been unbelievably hot at the moment. And this is the plot we're buying. And we are almost there. We are just waiting for 1 or 2 more pieces of paperwork. Then I've been catching up with some scrapbooking and I've been doing different challenges for scrapbooking as well. So this week now goes into my holidays, and I was wondering how I was going to tackle my holidays because I've had lots of extra photos, but I didn't want to mess up my my weekly project life, so I've just incorporated it, and that some weeks then I've just got extra photos. So this is week 30, and again this is a fabulous mantra: be so positive that negative people don't want to be near you. I also like just keeping a record really of some of the scrapbook layouts I do. Here's one. This is actually the Severn estuary that we could see from the top of this huge hill. I was just marshalling a race, thank goodness. I didn't have to actually do it because the hill they came up, well, it's called the Murder Mile, so it gives you a little bit of an indication of what it's like. So I've just used a filler card there and titled it Cruise the Canary Islands, and then I go into my holiday. So here we are, ready to sail, and I've started to use now some of the cards from Stampin' Up. They're Come Sail Away Making Memories cards. And once again, as you can see, I'm still mixing my fonts, still mixing the colours. So what I've done then is I've just dated the cards, but this is all within my holiday now. So here we go. I'm embracing the curls this holiday. I've actually got naturally curly hair that I struggle with, but I've been letting it loose a little bit more. The sunset, when we went to Madeira. Here we are, we went on the Seabourn catamaran. hoping to see some dolphins. We did it a few years ago and we saw loads of dolphins, but we didn't see any dolphins, but we did see some pilot whales. So I just love the fact that I've mixed up my cards. I'm trying not to be precious about everything. I just want to use things up. So here we are, La Palma, where we nearly melted. We did a 4-mile run. We were being very good, doing lots of deck walks and going to the gym the first week anyway. And I honestly thought I was going to melt into the pavement. Here's Tenerife then. I'm actually wearing dresses as well, and I'm not a dress person. So I embraced the curls and wore dresses this holiday. And just fun photos of us enjoying mocktails. I don't drink. Not for any reason other than the fact that I don't really like anything. But I do like a mocktail to cool down with. Went to Lanzarote. And we actually stayed for ages watching a triathlon that was taking place. So as you can see, that week actually covered 1, 2, 3. I used 3 pages to document that week. This is week 32 then. And this is when they've done the ice sculpture up on deck. And we do tend to take lots of selfies on holidays. When there's only the 2 of you, it's a bit strange having to ask strangers to take a photo of you all the time. We went to La Coruna and we got up really early and off the ship. While it was still dark actually, because we went off to do a 5-mile run. And then as we were going back to the ship, it started to rain, so at least we'd had the best of the day. This was when we were treating ourselves to one of the other restaurants. And I don't often take photos of food, but I have here, and I have on my next page. So here we go. So this is the last one talking about the holidays. This has got a bit of a weird story here, but I've taken a photo here. We were sunbathing the one day, and the glass was rattling. And my husband realised that the rubber had worn away. So he got himself some paper and managed to jam it in there and stop the glass from making a noise, much to the delight of the other sunbathers. So we had to take a photo of that because that's the sort of person he is. There he is there. And then I always save, these are our key cards for our door. I always save those. The other thing I've used, I had these in, I think they were Hobbycraft, reduced the one time. And because I made myself a traveller's notebook, and I did a little bit of a diary of all the days we were away, I didn't know how to put that in my project life, so I've added it in here. And I've also put in, I took part in a blog hop for the love of pretty paper, and they sent me one of their very, very special pencils with one of these cards with a little thank you, so I wanted to keep that. My wedding anniversary cards. This is a little bit odd. This is from a card trick that we saw on our last night on ship. The postcard from P&O, and also I received these from T Haven to say thank you for doing the 10k run. So now, because they wouldn't fit in any of the page protectors, you can just keep it all in there, which is quite nice. So then, this is when I'm back at home now, back to real life. I'll talk about how nice it was to go on holidays, but I also like coming home. And the Saturday that we were back, I saw an appeal on Facebook to say a man from a local running club had lost his dog, so I went out to help look for him, and he was found. Then, as I said, I've been taking part in scrapbook challenges. I've also started making Christmas cards for the year, and I've been sharing some videos of those. Izzy at a sleepover. I found these little tiny Heidi Swap letters. And then this one talked about our 20th wedding anniversary. I can't believe we've been married 20 years. And we celebrated by getting up really early and going to the gym. I spent the day with family then, and then we went out for food in the night. So once again, I've got photos of food, as you can see. It's been a bit of a steak and chips type of time. Talking about my YouTubes. My nephew had his GCSE results. Mum and I got together and did some Christmas card making, and some of these will feature in videos coming up. And then my husband and I went out on our bikes, and I talked about how tough it was after 3 weeks carrying my extra holiday weight. So that's how I've incorporated my holidays. Before, I just did lots of pages with all the random photos in, and when I look back now, none of them mean anything to me. So I think by doing it this way and just talking about highlights, then hopefully I'll remember far more about it. And also because I've included my traveller's notebook in there, which I kept as a diary, then that will help as well. So look at that. I'm up on week 33. 33 all done. Wowzers. So I've now started to think in advance how I'm going to incorporate my Christmas ones, because I do a daily December documented. So I still haven't decided how I'm going to do that in my project life, whether I'm actually going to finish in November. I don't want to do that. I'd like to keep it going. So watch this space while I come up with an idea. So thank you so much for joining me. I think I will give Project Life another go next year as well, because I really enjoyed it. Even though you're looking back and sometimes it's mundane things. Like I'm talking about my crafting, about the fact that my car has now been repaired. But it's things like that you look back and you think, oh yeah, remember when that happened? The big events of the year, when you do a single page for scrapbooking, they're the easy things to remember, but sometimes we forget about the hardships in between as well. So I would advise anyone who's tempted, just give Project Life a little go. So thank you so much for watching me. I'm hoping to be back now, obviously with my September one, but with some more card making videos as well. So thank you very much. Take care. Hwyl fawr.